Welcome back to Tag Happy V. Today we're going to be checking out Marineverse. Now this was not officially released yet. It was on the App Labs and now it's going to be coming to the main MetaQuest store, I believe in 2 or 3 days time. In fact, by the time you've watched this, it may have already been released. But don't forget, if you do comment and subscribe comment for any of my videos in February 2022, I do have that giveaway going. So subscribing, commenting, subscribing is getting your name out there so I can see it. We'll give you that chance to win 1 copy of Arcade. Now I've got 3 copies to give away, so big shout out to the devs down there at Arcade to give Tag Happy VR 3 copies to pass on to the VR community. It's very, very cool and generous of you folks. Now, if you don't know what Arcade is, it's a very, very fun first-person arcade sci-fi shooter. I do have a review. Go check that one out. Anyway, let's jump into Marineverse and let's just do some first impressions and work out whether this one should be a part of your collection. All right, this is Marineverse. This is it. This is the kind of the menu system that you load into. And this is where we are. Okay, now I'm in a swivel chair. Okay, I don't expect people to be playing in a swivel chair, to be honest. I expect them to probably be playing it standing up, but more than likely sitting down in their sofa, okay, or maybe even on the ground, you know, to have their legs stretched out as if they may be on a boat. And this is it. They boot you up and they want to, you know, start talking about kind of do your when you first jump into it, so they run you through a bit of a tutorial and you kind of do the tutorial a couple of times and then you keep kind of booting into this menu system. Now what's interesting is, if I am sitting down, which this is what the game kind of leads to, over to my right is another menu system. Now I'm in a swivel chair, so I can look at that, right? But if you're not in a swivel chair, like, you really got to stretch around to see that. It's really quite uncomfortable, so I don't even understand why that's there to begin with, to be honest. Why isn't it up here? Or, you know, just get rid of this, you know, introductory menu system and just take us to the main menu system. Anyway, I'm going to go skip onboarding. Okay, and now this loads us, center that up here, this loads us into the main menu system, okay, where you've kind of got newsfeed, multiplayer, racing, sailing lessons, mini games, free sailing, recent activities, you know, what you kind of traditionally see. Let's just quickly go into settings as I always do. Input player, auto 180 rotation after dinghy teleport, enable snap turning. Let's just turn that on. Laser pointer and left hand. Now, you can't just jump between them. Like, like, what game doesn't allow you to do that? Legitimately, like, you're stuck to one game. It's like 3 years old, you know, 4 years old, that concept, I feel like, where it's just like, that's how they were programming VR games back in the day. But so anyway, just know that you got to decide what hand. It's not just for pointing for menu systems, you understand in the gameplay. Okay, let's kind of go back on that, go into the boat, show wind arrows, boat compass, enable auto sailing, racing, you know, you got ghost, you got practice ghosts, VR comfort, you know, you got a bit of a play around with that. I'm not going to get too detailed. Audio, and I've turned that down just purely because I'm recording. Other, use 3D avatars, enable wind changes. Okay, you can plug this into your VR and be haptics. Very cool, I have to say. So big shout out to Marineverse in that regards. And I think having the your VR and the haptics, if they could get wind to work on that, I think would definitely propel this game to a whole nother experience. Okay, because yes, in your VR you would be sitting down, okay, but right now, I mean, how many people are going to have a your VR? Okay, so I feel like they're going to need to get some better actual VR kinetic mechanics in this game over what they've got. All right, let's just quickly jump out of there. Just a couple, I mean, multiplayer, sailing lessons, racing. If I go into racing, you've got multiplayer here as well. And then you get to, on the left side, you can get to pick your boats, okay, on what type of multiplayer. You need a sailing pass. Now, you're inside this game, you boot it up for the first time, you're looking at this. I need a sailing pass. Cool, want to fly over the water, get a sailing pass. Cool, where, how? What does that involve? I don't know. I mean, I know that you have to sign up and do a subscription model to get that boat. Just kind of giving you a heads up. Okay, but it's not self-apparent right now that that's what you need to do there, or even how you go about getting a sailing pass. Let's just quickly hit the back arrow here for a sec. Private game. So you can create a private game, just so you know. And you might kind of be realizing, I'm kind of jumping through this lobby because of menu system, because I find it a little confusing, to be honest. Time trials. Okay, so getting back out of there, we go into racing. Time trials, multiplayer, coaching, but then you've got multiplayer back here. Okay, I'm not too sure on the difference as to why they got multiplayer there. Guest demo race. I'm not too sure what that means, but you've got private game here. Daily race practice. Okay, coaching, review past races. Okay, cool. Now, if I quickly go back out here for a sec and go into sailing lessons, it always loads this yellow kind of thing, and it's implying that I got something that I need to complete. If I go into that, it looks like everything is 100% complete, but over here it's saying it's not. So I don't know what to believe. Is this incorrect, or is something else incorrect? I don't know. Okay, under your sailing lessons, which is typically what you're going to play to get used to first, you're going to plug into some racing, but then you've also got some mini games and free sailing. Under the mini games, you're effectively sailing around to get the stars. Maybe it's not completed because I'm still getting 1 star required for that. Maybe. Okay. And then you've kind of got your harvest, which is on a boat getting different stars or different fish and things like that. Free sailing, you get to choose your boat, and then you can just kind of sail around the harbor of these different places. Now, what's annoying is it's a big menu system. Like what I'm looking at here is nice and big. I love that. And you want to use your toggle to scroll up and down like you would in a lot of other menu systems. But in this particular one, you have to get it on this little bar here, and I'm holding my hand pretty steady, and you can still say it's shaking, probably about half the width of that bar, to then click on it, to then scroll up and down. In a VR world, why can't I just use my toggle to scroll up and down? Way easier instead of getting more pedantic. Okay, now I believe these only unlock when you go into racing time trials, I believe. Okay, because they're here as well, and I don't believe that they don't unlock as free roaming for sailing until you complete it on the time trial. I think that's the case. Okay, remember, this is the first impressions. I've done some, but I haven't done a lot. Now, when you look around, you got these little things over here. Now, you can't just push forward on your toggle thumb to do that. Now, once again, if you're sitting in your yaw on your sofa, because this game promotes you, it really kind of feels like it pushes you into a sitting position. How are you going to see behind you right now? I'm in a spinning seat. I can spin behind me, and I can go, I'll go over there. Now, you click and hold the trigger button, okay, to be able to kind of select on that. And if I want to go over to this one, I can't. I got to go to this one to then go to this one. Why can't I just, why? It just doesn't make sense. Okay. And then you've kind of got a weekly race series here. I'm still kind of getting used to all of this, to be honest. Okay. And then you got some boats outside, which is nice, kind of like the fishing game in a way. Okay, there's your wasps. Like, you can only get them with a paid subscription. All right, let's kind of go back over here. All right, let's quickly go back to home. Okay, let's just quickly do mini games, and we're going to do easy race. Okay, let's just load into that. Okay, now on your left flat menu, press on that, it brings up the menu. Height offset. Now, I didn't understand what this was, but if you're standing or sitting, etc., you want that, okay? It kind of lowers you in and out of the boat, okay? So you need to get that sorted as well. Okay, this here is to restart the game that you're in, just so you know. Then you got kind of like a little sub-menu up here. I'm not going to get too involved in that. Okay, let's just close out of that. Okay, now, race is not started. I need to, once again, if you're sitting down, which is what the game promotes, it's hard to see behind you. So you're kind of like, where do I start? Over there. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm now going to grab this, my dominant hand. Now, I've just grabbed this, but it's also my trigger finger. So if I want to move around this particular boat, if I let go here, if I grab it, doesn't let me highlight it. Doesn't, see, this one lets me highlight it. This one's not letting me highlight it. If I let go with my dominant pointing hand, I can highlight. Okay? So if I'm in the middle of the race and I need to hold the sail at a certain distance to sail, and I've accidentally grabbed it with my pointing hand, I then looks like there's a glitch with you can teleport, but maybe not to everything. But then to do a proper teleport, you have to let go of the sail. It will unravel in the wind, throw you off for you to teleport, for you to then make sure you grab it with your non-dominant hand so that you're still allowing your pointer hand, okay, to then kind of move you around the boat. What's annoying is if I just kind of move my point hand in the direction of it, it highlights. Now, that's really distracting. Why does it? I don't know why it needs to do that. Why can't you just kind of, you know, I only want it doesn't need to highlight, okay? You know, other games where you teleport, you know, it doesn't highlight in front of you automatically. You know, you teleport, it highlights to where you are. I don't know why it has to do it this way. So let's just grab this. No, once again, I can't grab it with this hand. I've got to do it with my other hand. In. Okay, now, in front of me here, I got the sailing. Okay, oh. Okay, so I now need to move away from the wind, let my sail out, and I need to... I got the wind coming right behind me here. Now I need to let my sail right out. Okay. Oh,
you're sailing downwind.
Downwind.
Release the main sheet to catch the wind in your sail.
Cool. Okay, that's fine. And all my goal is on this particular game right now is to get as many stars as possible.
Nice.
Okay, and I'm just kind of sailing down. The goal is to maintain your speed as fast as possible. Okay.
Keep collecting stars to reduce your time.
Keep collecting stars, okay. And obviously if I need to... Now, the wind's mostly downhill towards me, okay. Now, if this patch of water there makes you go a bit faster, okay. There is a cloud above me. Okay, so that patch of water looks like it could be a shadow because of that cloud. Okay. Now, let's just kind of go straight towards this finish line right now. Okay. And if I let the sail too loose... Nah, because the wind's pretty much behind me, so the sail is full of the wind. Now, if I was having to sail upwind and the sail was too loose, it would then start flapping, which means I've got to bring it in, okay? Traditional sailing, okay? So let's just kind of get to the end here. Come on.
You got it.
Come on. Okay.
Well done.
Well done. Okay, dokie. Now, my best time was 47. I got 57 on that one. Okay, it's going to boot us out of there. And now we're into another menu system. Now, this replay recent race. Now, I'm trying to do that. Well, maybe I haven't. Maybe I don't understand the concept of replay here. Maybe you actually play back in a race that's been completed for you to then look at what other people are doing, follow the race leader. I don't know. Maybe that's how it is. And in which case, yes, I haven't completed an actual race. Okay. Cool. Back to menu. Try again. And you can move around the menu system like before. You can't go over there. But let's just go over there, though. Okay. Why are we over here? I can't read that. Barely read that. Definitely can't see that. If we just look at the windows here, it's just there's no depth. It's just literally flat. You know, like a rectangle. Like it's just the game feels like it needs still a lot of work. Let's go back over here. Okay, let's go back over here. All right, cool. I just want to quickly get back into that again, just so you know. Try again. Okay, we're in the game, right? You can also control your steering.
For better steering experience,
okay.
Use the joystick on. You are in the no-go zone.
So it tells you for better experience, use your joysticks. The game kind of keeps pushing you in that direction. Now, let's see if I can... What do we got here? I want to go this way. Bring that up. All right, we're coming around. Keeping in mind, if I'm sitting in a sofa doing this, it's not going to work, okay? Now, how come that's not... There we go. Okay, all right. It's going that way. No, I got to go this way. Pull that in. How come I can't? Oh my gosh. What's happening here? I can't get that to move. I want to turn it the other way and I can't get it to... There we go. Okay, now how do I get that back the other way? There we go. And back the other way. There we go. Okay, so you really got to bring that right across. No, did that do it that time? Yeah, you really got to bring that right across, just so you know. Okay, it's a little clunky. All right, I just want to quickly kind of show you that. All right, let's hit the flat left button, a traditional menu button, exit to menu. Okay, let's go back to the home menu. No, let's quickly go into Harvest 2, is it?
Welcome to the
No,
harvest.
not Harvest 2.
Your goal is
Back to menu.
This level is testing your boat handling skill.
Harvest 3. Okay, cool. So, I'm confused. See, it's highlighting, clicking and holding, but I'm not moving to the side of the boat. I'm kind of stuck here. And if I was sitting in a sofa, see how that light's yellow? You got to have that yellow to then control the speed. Okay, and at the moment, that seems to be, you know, doing what I want. Okay, look at that. Look at that. It's up and down. Oh, now I can grab it. Okay, so it's kind of flashed. It's flashing again. When it's like you might grab it, you may not grab it. Like, okay, this doesn't seem to be teleporting over, and
Nice
then
try.
you can
For
steer
better steering experience. Use the joystick on the
at the
controller.
back. Now you kind of want to feel like you're in VR. So I'm now can stare. Okay, so now I'm just doing my controls. Okay, left and right on the toggle, and then back and forward for the throttle on my other hand. Okay, it's just like you're in a traditional flat screen controller game. Okay, it kind of defeats the purpose. The only thing is now I've got snap turning turned on because if you need to see behind you because you're sitting down, you need snap turning. You need to be able to turn around, right? Because you're sitting down. Now I'm now trying to play this particular game, and well, let's slow down. No, let's slow down that way. And a moment ago, on a couple of occasions, it snap turned on me. I didn't want it to, but it did. Okay, now it seems to be alright. I'm thinking about my controls a lot more. There we go. So I got to bring it back, reorientate myself. Where am I? Okay. So the controls just seem that they're frustrating. Okay. Let's get back up to there. You know, I want to be able to use the boat, you know, here, but I can't. I mean, if you're sitting down, man, and you can't rotate, you can't get to that. Okay. And that's, you know, it's behind you, but you don't get full motions there. Like, anyway, I just want to quickly kind of talk about that for a moment here. Let's go back to the main menu. And there's really one more boat. I'm not going to go through a complete race here. Okay. It's just more of a first impressions. Okay. So go home. Let's go racing. Let's do yacht. Okay. And let's do a daily race practice. You have not raced today yet. Be the first to submit a race entry. You have 3 attempts remaining. No. I just want to do a basic boom. Time trial. So there. Okay, cool. So, what do we got? So we've got to get over there. Okay, we've got a countdown. So it's like typical sailing. You got a countdown in front of you. You got to get to the line
You're in the no-go zone.
Earlier than the countdown. You don't want to be too late, otherwise you're going to be too far behind everyone else. It's the goal to try and cross that just as the buzzer goes, okay? Now, in front of me is the dead wind zone, so I've got to get my boat across.
Nice.
Okay, and I need to... That line is always typically upwind, okay? Now, to control these, you got to click on here, okay? I feel like you got to be quite precise with getting your control there, all right? Now, this one here, it's flapping, so I need to bring that up a bit. Oh, and I wasn't looking at where I was going. Okay, so now we're off. We can see we've got the wind kind of coming over this side here, hitting the sail sideways, projecting me forward. I got my my knots in front of me. Okay, and I believe if I should be upboard on that, to be honest. Okay, there we go. All right. That is keep that tight. Okay, cool. Let's do a quick rotate around now. All right, I'm gonna tack. I gotta be outside of the wind there. So this one here, I gotta go across here. No, wrong way. Up to here. Okay. All right, we're off. As long as I hold the same angle as I'm tacking left and right of where the main wind's coming from, the headwind, I don't need to adjust this mainsail. I think they call that the mainsail. Okay, once again, I'm not a sailing pro by no means. And then this sail right at the front, though, you got to adjust. I got this guy coming over here on my right. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Got 20 seconds, though.
Starboard!
That's okay, mate. I need
Next
to come
racing marker 1.
this way here. I need to come across to this one. Now I've gone dead in the water. What's happening? Oh, I'm face on to the wind. It's not what I want.
The sails are flapping.
Okay, so dark water there. No cloud up top. Okay, interesting. All right. Where's this one? Oh, see, should really be over this side now. Let's get... see, I grabbed it with my left hand. I got to let go. Okay, then got to bring that back. The sail is flapping here. Cool. There's a few things that you need to think about, okay? Which is fine. It adds a level of complexity to the game. And to be honest, because I'm having to focus on talking and doing, explaining what I'm doing and the pros and cons, where's this? I'm hit wind again. See, typically I'd be focusing on that down there a lot, to be honest. Now, I was just wanting to see, there's a cloud there with water. Oh, man, once again, I'm headwind. Let's just rotate this way. Got to get around this buoy. All right, we're fine. Let's pull that in. Where's the buoy one there? All right. Now, there's a time that you need to finish this in, and to be honest, I'm way behind. All right, let's come down this way. I'm going to get more of a tailwind behind me. It's like these have opened up for me, which is kind of good. And this yellow marker here, it's kind of covered by the black marker at the moment. That kind of tells you where the buoys are. So you don't even need to see what's happening out there. You can kind of focus on your little kind of wind compass, etc. Now we need to go around that. Okay. And you can kind of get an idea of your speed and if you feel like you need to kind of wind that in or not. Let's rotate around here. Come back across. Okay. Then we got
the racing marker 3.
Cool. Let's try and open that right up. Is that going to give me more speed? No. Bring that in? No. Okay, well, around there is about right. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of it. So you've got these different clouds. You can see how the different colours. I don't know why. Is it because of the shade now from the angle we're in? Maybe they are. That's it. But these ones up top aren't. They just kind of stands out. So that one's got dark under it. I'm assuming the dark...
The sails
No, that cloud is... See, those dark areas always implied... Wait, let's get across over to here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you go faster in the dark areas. Okay, which I get. But then does that imply that those dark areas are shadows to the clouds? Then why would a shadow imply that you go faster? I don't get it. Or if they just use those clouds as markers to help you identify where the fast water is. I don't know. Anyway, let's just kind of jump out of here. Let's go close. Okay.
You are in the no-go zone.
Cool. And now I've got the, if you're sitting down, you can't rotate, so you got to use your snap turning to then see behind you to then move forward. Now, one day I was just sitting down on my sofa and I accidentally went forward, and then I was like, oh, snap turning's not on. I got to get out of my seat, or I got to literally turn around on my sofa to then come back to then point where I needed to go. So you can also control your steering that way as well. And you can also spin around here. You can also use your thumbsticks to steer. Okay. And you can also use your toggle to bring the sail in and out. Okay. And it kind of gives you more control. Okay. Then you only need to worry about moving that. Okay. But once again, it kind of prompts you to kind of use your controls in this game as opposed to the actual VR mechanics. Okay. Anyway, let's jump back to the main menu system. Exit to main menu. So go over here. Got a bell. Okay, so that's the room we were in before. Okay, grab me to give forward voice feedback. That's kind of cool that they got there. Help us improve. Do you have any questions? They're wanting feedback, okay, which is great. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that now. I'm recording with you folks out there. I don't even know, am I facing the camera? Yes, I am. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, okay? Free sailing, mini games, racing, sailing lessons, okay? Multiplayer. That's it, okay? All right, anyway, I'll see you on the outside, and we're just going to wrap this up just a little bit. That was Marineverse on the MetaQuest store. Do you like it? Do you want to get it? What are your thoughts? Put some comments below. Don't forget, if you do comment, subscribe, comment, you get a chance to win a copy of OK. Remember, I've got 3 copies to give away for February 2022. A big shout out to the devs for giving me those 3 copies to hand out to the VR community. If you don't know what Arcade is, it is a very, very highly polished game on the Oculus App Labs. Go check it out. I do have a review. Hey, but don't forget, comment, subscribe, comment for your chance to win. Okay, and I'll be doing a draw very, very early March 2022. Okay, let's get into Marineverse and work out, did you like it? Did you like what you see? Do you want to get it? Do you have it? Put some comments, put some thoughts below. Overall, I had somewhat high expectations for this particular game. You don't really have that many sailing games out there. You got the VR Regatta. You have got Big Sleepy Boat. Big Boat. Damn it, I've forgotten the name. Okay, big sleepy boat. Okay, so I guess big breezy boat. There we go, big breezy boat. Then you got Marineverse. Now, as far as I can tell, they're all done by the same people. Okay, and when you jump online, it's like, well, what's this game? What's that game? And how come this one's on this store and not on that store? It's confusing, and it took me a little while to kind of work out what it's all about. So as far as I can tell, and if the devs are watching, please correct me in this regards, they're all part of the same team. Okay, breezy boats for more casual sailing experiences. VR Regatta is for more scenic sailing experiences, and Marineverse is pushing into more competitive multiplayer. Okay, and they've got 3 different games in development. It seems like a lot of money and time to do 3 separate games. I don't know why they wouldn't just kind of write down what one great game would be in that regard and just focus on the one game instead of now focusing on 3 menu systems, 3 bug reports, 3 graphic updates, everything about it. To maintain 3 games just seems a lot more expensive than maintaining just one game. Okay, so I don't know why they've got 3 separate ones and just condensed into one fantastic game. Anyway, that's that as a side. So if you got confused about what those were, those 3 different games, maybe that sapped you out just a little bit. The overall Marineverse, I wasn't a fan overall. I found that the menu systems, were complicated. You load into one, and there's some information behind you. You don't get to see that. It's like, why is that even there? You have to spin around. And because the game lends itself to a sitting experience, it's difficult, especially on a sofa, to reach right around you and see what's happening behind you. So I don't know why that's there, okay? And I don't know why, when you're booting into it, it's asking you, do you want to go through another tutorial lesson? No, okay? By default, you do that once or twice, and then thereafter, pretty much for infinity, it's going to be, I've already done it. I don't need to do it. Let's boot me into the main menu. So you then have to go, no, of course I don't want to do that. Boom. And then it loads back into the main menu. So you kind of got an entry-level menu, which is helpful for the first 1 or 2 goes, but then after that, it's redundant. Then you got your main menu, and then when you exit out of a game, you boot into another room with another menu. And these particular menus, overall, there's nothing fancy about them. In fact, they're a little bit confusing. And then the rooms that they're in just don't seem to be polished, okay? Now, putting aside the fact that the menu systems are a little bit confusing to navigate around and to work out what's happening, each room of a menu system, its graphics are not that polished, and that makes a big part of a game. Everything about a game, it's about everything, okay? It's not just about one aspect that makes a game great, good or bad, okay? It's about the whole package. And when you're on one of the menu systems and you're looking out through the windows, you can tell they're meant to be windows because when you move left and right, the parallax between the foreground and background changes. You got your depth perception there. It looks like it's not even a window. It looks like they've just put a flat rectangle on the wall and said, "Yep, that's now another environment." Like there's no thought. I don't know if it's lack of thought or time or what that has gone into making that. okay? But it bugs me. Insofar as moving around in the game, you think, oh, locomotion would be there. It's not. Oh, teleport, cool. It's not teleport in the traditional, or what I now consider the traditional sense that when you jump into a game, it's very similar teleport mechanic, VR mechanic. This one's completely different, okay? You're limited to where you can teleport, and some of the places you can teleport, it's kind of like, why would you even want to teleport over there? Like, sure, free roaming, but why would the developers put a teleport spot there? It's so far off angle to the menus that you can't even read the menus. It's really, and then I thought, well, maybe it's because multiple people might be in this lobby together. But then why would that person want to stand over there and get a terrible view of the menus? It doesn't make sense, okay? And when you are teleporting, it's not like you can teleport to the furthest one you can see. You got to kind of piggyback across to it, okay? I just don't like the experience at all, okay? Insofar as when you boot into the game and just focusing on the VR mechanics, it pushes you, the game naturally pushes you into a seating position where you want to sit down to play this particular game as opposed to stand, okay? Now, and the VR mechanics themselves also make you want to not interact with the environment so much, but use your controllers. So now it's like, oh, let's just sit in the seat and play a computer game like a PlayStation. The only benefit now is, yes, you're in a 3D world and you can look around, whereas on a PlayStation or Xbox, it's on a flat screen. But the actual VR, the gameplay mechanics of how you interact with it kind of keeps pushing you back into a seated position, playing it with your controllers. I'm not a fan of that. It's great that it's there for the people who don't have the mobility, and I think more VR games need to be thinking about that, okay? So it's great in that respect, but then they're completely missing the point of what VR is. You want to be interacting with your environment as if you were there on a boat needing to do what you're doing, okay? When you are on the boat and you do try to use your VR mechanics to interact with it, one, you can't do everything with VR mechanics. You've got to still use your pointers and controllers to do stuff. But then your pointing hand, your teleport hand is fixed to one hand, okay? So if you accidentally grab something to control the boat with the hand that you're pointing with, and then you go, oh, I now want to teleport over to the other side of the boat, you've got to let go of that control. The boat does what it does, throwing you off a little bit, to then teleport, to then think, I need to make sure I grab it with this hand to now control the boat again, as opposed to just being able to pull the triggers and teleport with whatever hand when you want to do that, okay? So the VR mechanics and the teleports and what hands, it just doesn't work all in all together, okay? The graphics, they're clean, they're not the best, they're not the worst, they're clean, okay? They feel somewhat incomplete, looking at the menu system in the windows as a prime example. When you are looking around, you do have a wallpaper effect around you, which is fine. I don't think they need to have that much wallpaper. I don't mind having a bit of blue ocean, one half of me personally. Okay, but what they've done is fine. It would be cool to get more wildlife into the scenes, and yes, they do have it popping up from time to time. However, when they do pop up, it's a little unpolished, unfinished. On one of the sailing solo games I was doing, there was like a whale under the water, not moving, just looking at me. And I was like, that's weird. How come it's not moving? How come it's not? It was just made and then just put down into that environment and just gone, boom, all right, we've got a whale there. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, it's like, I don't know if I need to see a whale. Having the whale tails pop up from time to time would be cool, and they do. Okay, maybe a couple of seagulls over above. But, the way they implement some of the things in the environments is off. Another example was the clouds. You got the clouds way up high. They're cool, they're fine. And then they got these random clouds kind of mid-tier, off color as well. And it's kind of like, well, that's weird. Why are they off color to the rest of the environment? Why are they standing out? Why do they seem out of place? Are they there for a particular reason in the game? Is maybe when you go under them, you slow down or speed up? I don't know. But they just seem out of place. I feel like there's not much thought has gone into integrating those clouds into the environment. Okay, the boat graphics are fine. Yeah, I mean, they could be polished over time, but they're fine. All right. Insofar as the gameplay itself, I did find that it becomes, I haven't done multiplayer, and when I did do multiplayer with the bots weren't, they're kind of comical, to be honest. I think this game will shine more in real life multiplayer. I haven't done that yet, okay? Insofar as kind of solo play though, you're either getting stars or you're getting fish. It does get a bit repetitive after a while, okay? And your only reason to kind of keep going would be one, just to get better at sailing in that environment, okay? It's so far removed from real sailing that I'd probably say that, you know, you get the basics of wind direction and angle of the boat and sails and things like that, but it is so far removed that, you know, you're not going to become a pro in this game and feel like you're a pro in real life. No, that's not going to happen. Okay, but I do find that the solo player is a bit repetitive. Okay, and I just don't know how much repetitive behavior, like how many times I'm going to plug into those particular games. The business model where the Marineverse is trying to take this is a subscription-based business model. And there are a few games on the Quest that are doing that. Okay, FitXR is probably one of the more famous ones, and their community gave them a massive amount of backlash. Okay, they sold them on a DLC pack business model, FitXR, and then they moved to a subscription base, promising so much more content, blah, 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 blah. And it felt like they were trying to bring a real-life business model of a gym membership into a VR game. Community didn't like it. I don't believe you can bring a real-life business model into a game. This is a game that is a real gym. Okay, and likewise with Marineverse. You know, I do believe you have got yearly fees for sailing clubs, for a real sailing club, and then there's particular business models in that regards. I don't believe it translates that well into a game. That's what it is. It is a game. It's not a sailing club. Okay, and I feel like FitXR is trying to, they're not going to, I don't believe they've admitted it, but they're not saying, no, we're not trying to make a gym. But everything about what they do feels like they're trying to push a gym business model. And it kind of get the same feeling with Marineverse. They're trying to take a real business model and push it into the particular game. Insofar as value for money, you know, you get 2 boats. I believe some multiplayer is going to be there for your normal paid version. But then if you want any more boats, by the looks of it, you got to pay a monthly subscription. Okay, so you got to really love this game to then want to pay a monthly subscription. I mean, really love it. Now, if you're not a big, you know, if you kind of love it, do you really want to spend the $10 US? I believe that's what it is, maybe give or take, per month, just to get access to another boat and a pro league of racing? Like, you know, and for me, no, I don't want a pro league of racing. I need to commit a lot of time to this particular game, but I'm not going to commit a lot of time purely because those VR mechanics, the menu systems, it's all kind of feeling subpar, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be subscribing to this particular game. I hate to say it, you know, but I won't be because there's just so many other games out there that are just really nicely polished and have so much more value for your money when you originally just buy it. Okay, and Marineverse just doesn't come close to what's currently available. Obviously not selling games, but doesn't come close to where other games are at the moment. So overall, I got the game, okay, but whether I will be plugging into it often, I don't know. I don't think I will be. Okay, anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. And don't forget, comment, subscribe for your chance to win Arcade. Got 3 copies to give away. And below is a link to some groovy Tag Happy merch. Till next time.